Welcome back to Fnext. The movie opens with two brothers Sean and Nick enjoying themselves with two beautiful girls. When they're about to get intimate, the girls' fathers arriving to see the girls warn them about their fathers approaching, and the boys decide to get out of the place as fast as they can. Sean jumps through the window, while Nick follows the fathers and runs towards their car, just as the duo thinks that they've escaped. They notice the fathers following. After a short chase, they hit a dead end and are forced to leave their car and jump over a fence, which lends them there they find two beautiful girls and start flirting with them. In the next scene, as a tour playing football for their college team, their eyes are fixed on the girls in the audience. This enraged their coaches. They are on the verge of losing the game. However, Sean scores an important point and wins the game for the team at the college. Nick and Sean are very popular with the girls. Nick is hooked up with so many girls that he doesn't even remember their names. Later, the girl named Jennifer approaches them and seems to be a fan of Nick, and she invites them to a bonfire that night. Just then their football coach arrives and informs them that they have to attend a football camp for 2 weeks, which is being organized in Texas. Nick and Sean are sad to hear that because they have to spend 2 weeks without any interaction with girls. At night, while enjoying the bonfire, Sean and Nick discussed being upset that they'll have to spend 2 weeks without girls. As they are talking, they overhear some girls discussing their cheer camp, where more than 300 girls will be pressed. Hearing this, Nick decides to ditch the football camp and join the cheer camp instead so that he can be with new girls. At first, Sean refuses, but after a bit of convincing from Nick, he reluctantly agrees. After that, they approached the cheer group leader Carly and tried to persuade her to let them join the group. Harley's a smart girl who was well aware of the boys' intentions, and she declined their request. The next day, they can Sean visit their little sister Poppy, as she is also going to cheer camp. Poppy also seems to be well aware of her brother's intentions. She agrees to help them get into the cheer group, only if Sean will hand over his room to her later. Poppy, Sean and Nick are at a park trying to get a frisbee that gotten stuck on a tree bridge. Seeing Poppy's cheer group friends approaching, Nick and Sean lift Poppy high up in the air and catch her smoothly. Poppy's friends are impressed by their flexibility and athleticism. Sean and Nick also mentioned their intent to join the cheer group. In the following scene, Poppy's friends visit Carly to persuade her to take Sean and Nick into their group, but she refuses again. Because of this, the girls visit their coach Miss Klinger off to make her understand the importance of the boys' group. Hearing this, she quickly agrees to recruit them. Meanwhile, when the boys approach their football coach Burns, he does not take the news of their abandoning the football camp well. Later, we see the boys getting onto the college bus to head over to the cheer camp with the girls. Carly seems to be really interested in cheering, as she keeps on sharing every single little thing on the way, like driving, eating, and so on. The boys get really frustrated by her controlling leadership. Shortly after they read the camp, they see a large number of beautiful girls warming up. Nick mentions that he feels like they had an accident and are in heaven. Soon, the boys start to interact with the girls around the Panthers. The team, who is known to be the regular winner of the cheerleading competition, visits Carly's team, Tigers, and talks smack, saying that they're here to beat them and win. However, Carly comes back by saying that this time, their team is different and they have two boys on the team. Later, they're addressed by the head coach Key and informed that they will be trained for 3 weeks and should participate in the final competition. If they're able to win the competition, the winner will get the chance to participate in state championships. During the announcement, next, that's as Iron, the female coach Dora completely dismisses. We also see the boys hitting on every other girl at the camp. The next day, while the Tigers are practicing their cheer routine, the Panthers seem to be jealous of performers. Sean, on the other hand, to be seen trying his best to impress Carly. While they're talking, Carly's boyfriend, Rick, shows up, and the two is passionately in front of Sean and Nick. Seen currently happy with Rick's shock. It's a bit jealous. Carly introduces the boys to Rick and tells them about how they met each other. Later, Ree takes currently for a drive and did in the next scene. Nick is trying to pick up some girls was shot, but he seems to be sad. Nick asked him what's bothering him, and Sean reveals that it's currently seeing his growth stressed. Nick reminds them that they're there to hook up with new girls only and not with ones from their school. The same night we can see Team Scorpion swimming and practicing their forms, and nearby boys join them and enjoy a great time with girls. While they're still in the water, a raccoon appears out of nowhere and steals Nick and Sean's clothes. After swimming, the brothers look for their clothes but fail to find them. Because of this, Nick and Sean run back towards their bones for they're spotted by head coach. Katie stops them to ask what they're doing. Sean replies in the new. Keith asked them for a demo of their moves. And rather than being angry at them, he points out their errors and areas for improvement. The following day, the Tigers can be seen practicing their forms while Sean's still flirting with Carly. The Panthers are also there, but they're rehearsing a very art form known as the Fountain of Troy. In fact, it is so hard and dangerous that it has been forbidden the event. Nevertheless, the group continues to practice until one member falls behind and injures yourself badly at night. All the cheer camp members are watching a movie and trying to recite every line in the movie, enjoying their time with two new ladies. Sean asked Nick to accompany him to take a peek on their way. Sean opens up his feelings and tells Nick that he started thinking that the idea of hooking up with other girls is wrong. Work arrives with his friends and mentions that he has been with girls other than Carly. Hearing this, Shanti comes in rash and decides to tell Carly about next activities as he's about to do so. Work intervenes and takes Carly away for dinner. Sean, however, succeeds in making Rick understand that he knows about him cheating. The next day of training, while Sean and Carla go to fill the water, Nick tries to flirt with Coach Tiara again. However, she shuns them like before. Later, Nick meets up with Sean and shows him the bus tickets he bought for them to return to their college. He feels like it has already been 2 weeks and now it's time to return. However, Sean refuses to go with him because he wants to spend more time with Carl. He also wants to help his team till the end of the tournament. Make it really angry hearing this, but eventually agrees to stay with Sean for the sake of their relationship. The two then change their clothes and go after training. While training, it is obvious that the Tigers are not completely confident about the performance or their method of practice. Because of this, Sean tries to motivate them by telling him that the Panthers don't win competition because they practice hard, but rather because they believe in themselves. That their Harley also support John's words and the whole team is motivated to work hard. Because of this, the boys get affection and appreciation from the girls. However, their moment of glory is short-lived as Rick approaches and tells the girls that Sean and Nick were actually planning to leave the competition in the middle and return home. Furious, Carly mentioned that she was well aware that the boys were into girls, but she was unaware that they were going to abandon them in the middle of the competition. Sean tries to make her understand that that was their previous plan, and now they decided to leave after the competition. Just then Rick reads some lines from Nick's personal diary, which is written for Coach Tior. Hearing this and enrage Carly and the returning tickets as well. Sean is devastated by the incident. Nick gets attention from Diara and also a soft kiss on his cheeks. After returning from the cheer camp, the boys learn that they actually like cheer camp and want their squad to win. So they make the decision to return to the campus as the squad in the tournament. Nick and Sean enter the cheer camp at night and try to convince Carly to let them back in the squad. Hurley refuses at first, but after the other girls tell her that they can only win if they have the boys in their squad, she agrees. In the next scene is competition day and various teams are putting up their performances. The Panthers put on an amazing performance which makes the Tigers admit their suit. It's their turn and the whole team gets up on stage. While performing, Carly notices Rick flirting with the Panthers leader. When enraged, she gets into it with Sean and the two eventually decide to perform the prohibited stand. The founder of Tron, Sean, tries his best to motivate Carly and asked her to focus on the app. After a bit of discussion with the squad, they manage to pull off the dangerous fountain of choice, but Sean gets injured in the process. It falls unconscious. Everyone in the audience cheers for them, including their friends and football coach. After some time, when Jung gains consciousness, he asked her they won the competition. Carly replies that they ranked 1910 positions that they got last year. Then, Hurley kisses Sean in the middle of them talking, but Rick arrives and separates them while threatening Sean. Harley steps in front and breaks up with them as she knows all about them now. She then asks Sean if he would like to do elsewhere. Nick also seems to have gotten his dream girl, Doctor she calls him, at night and is enjoying a good time with them until her husband Cheese arrives.